Y3 Willow, I hope you're all well. So we're going to do a bit of literacy at the moment, and we're starting off with a vocab blast. So we've got our word in the middle, which is settled. Can you say the word settled? Your turn. Brilliant. So the word settled basically means to calm down, to sit down and be calm. Okay, so if I tell you to settle down, it means that you need to calm down, you need to stop being excitable. So for example of this, I've already sort of given you one, haven't I? But we'll think of a different one. So the children settled down for bedtime. Okay, so that means that the children are calming down. And a non-example of this, so basically, what would be the opposite to settle down or to be settled? Have a think, have a quick pause if you need to. Okay, excellent. So I would think the opposite or a non-example of settle down would be something maybe being excited, might be running around. It might be being loud and you know, the opposite of being quiet and the opposite of being calm. Those are things that I would think that are non-examples of the word settled. One more time, can you say the word settled? Brilliant. Okay, so the word settled means to calm down, okay, to make sure that you're nice and quiet in a calm state. So our learning today, we're carrying on with our learning from yesterday. So identify word classes. So I can identify and classify nouns and verbs. We'll go over that in a minute. I can select verbs for effect, and I can use abstract nouns for effect. And abstract nouns are things like happiness and sadness and disappointment and curiosity, words that are names of things, but we can't touch them, okay? So you might have happiness inside you, okay? So that's a feeling that you might have. However, you can't touch happiness. You can't touch it with your hands, okay? You can't physically see it, okay? So let's move on to this next thing. So this is a recap from yesterday's work. So what is a noun? So have a quick pause, have a think about what a noun is. Can you give any examples of any? Okay, so well done if you said a noun was a person, place, object, or idea. So a person, for example, your name, okay, a name of somebody that you know. A place, like Sheffield or England. An object might be a pencil or pen, anything that you can hold, okay, or an idea. So this is what I was saying about an abstract noun. So things like happiness and sadness and curiosity and anger, okay, they're all names of things, but we can't physically touch them. So let's go on to a verb, okay? So I would like you to have a quick pause and think what a verb is. Can you give any examples of a verb? Have a pause, have a think. So we got a verb is an action word. It's a doing word. So we had this sentence yesterday. So I don't believe in magic, said Tom, as he settled onto the grass in the show tent. So we've got that word again, settled. Well done. If you know settled means to, yeah, it means to calm down. It means to be as he calmed down onto the grass. So we have got our noun, so I'm going to do that in blue. So I don't believe in magic, okay? Magic is a noun. We've got Tom, which is obviously a name. We've got the grass, which is an object, and we've got the show tent, which is obviously an object as well. So, and then we've got our verbs. So I don't believe in magic, said to doing thing, as he settled down. So remember, settled, it's an action, you do it, you settle down onto the grass in the show tent. Brilliant. So we've gone over what a noun is and we've gone over what a verb is. So let's do on to our next thing. So my next question, what is an adverb? I'm going to change this to green because I like doing these in green. So what is an adverb? So an adverb describes the action, the verb, okay? So for example, it might be quickly. He ran, okay? So remember, quickly is describing the verb. Let me just write that down. He quickly ran to the tent. I can't remember what I said now. So remember the verb, which is the orange word. So he ran quickly to the tent. So the tent is the noun. And quickly is describing that action, okay? So quickly is the adverb. It's describing what the noun is doing. It's describing how the noun, how the verb, sorry, let me just say that. It's describing how the verb is being done. So an adverb is describing what the verb is doing. Sorry, I did say that slightly wrong then. So let's moving on. Okay. An adverb can tell us also, so we know how something's done. So for example, quickly. It can also tell us where it's been done. So for example, it might say in front of the tent, the boy ran. So it tells us where that's been done, and it can tell us when, the time of it, when it's been done. So during the day, comma, the boy went to the tent. So it tells us when that's happening. And you might have had a sneak peek of this earlier. We've got a fronted adverbial. So can you say the word fronted adverbial? Your turn. So when, well done for saying that. Where do you think a fronted adverbial would go in a sentence? Would it go at the start of a sentence, in the middle of a sentence, or would it go at the end of the sentence? Where do you think a fronted adverbial would go in a sentence? Have a quick think. Well done if you said a fronted adverbial would go at the start of the sentence. Now, after a fronted adverbial, there needs to be some sort of punctuation. What sort of punctuation would need to go after a fronted adverbial? Have a think. What sort of punctuation would need to go after a fronted adverbial? Well done if you said a comma. So after our fronted adverbials, we need a comma. So let's go on to our learning today. So we have this picture and we have these children going to the big top tent or the circus, okay? So we've got our characters here. So, and we've got a sentence here. The boy walked into the tent. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, that sentence is pretty boring. And as we're year 3 now, we should be trying to up level our work. That means improving it and changing things to make it better. So, for example, we got, can we use an interesting verb? So can we change the verb in this sentence? So first of all, let's identify the verb. So the boy walked into the tent. So what is the verb in this sentence? Have a quick pause, have a quick think. Well done if you said the verb was walked, okay? So can we think of a better word than walked, okay? So the boy might have leaped into the tent. The boy strolled into the tent. The boy rushed to the tent, okay? So I'm going to use that one. So the boy rushed into the tent. So I've up-leveled that a little bit. I'm going to change that to orange just so it helps me know what I've done. Okay, can we use an adjective? So have a quick think about what an adjective is. We've done a lot of work of this already, so have a think what an adjective is. So well done. A adjective describes the noun. It's a describing word. So we've got 2 nouns in the sentence. Can you find the 2 nouns in the sentence? So the boy rushed into the tent. What are the 2 nouns in that sentence? Well done if you said the 2 nouns were boy, doing a dark blue, and tent. Okay, so we need to think of a word to describe either of these nouns. Okay, so I might describe the young boy rushed into the tent, or you might want to describe the tent. So you might want to say the boy rushed into the large tent, or the colourful tent, or the massive tent. Okay, so I'm going to describe this boy. I'm going to do it in a light blue. So I'm going to put the excited boy, change that into a light blue. Yeah, that's sort of a light blue, isn't it? So make this a little bit smaller as well so I can fit everything in. Move this to the side. There we go. So the excited boy rushed into, I'm going to put the colourful tent. I'm going to change that into a light blue as well. So the excited boy rushed into the colourful tent. I've already up-leveled this loads, okay? So, and can we use a fronted adverbial? Remember, where does a fronted adverbial go in the sentence? Is it the beginning, the middle, or the end? Well done if you said the beginning. So remember, a fronted adverbial tells us how, where, and when. So I might use, I'm thinking, oh, I might use a when adverbial. So at midday, the excited boy rushed into the colourful tent. Now, because I've added a fronted adverbial, I'm going to have to change the rest of the sentence. So remember, I can't have a capital letter here, so this needs to change into a lowercase. At midday, the excited boy rushed into the colourful tent. Now, remember that rule of after a fronted adverbial, I'm going to change this to green, the excited boy rushed into the colourful tent. What sort of punctuation needs to come after a fronted adverbial? Have a think. Well done if you said a comma. So at midday, the excited boy rushed into the colourful tent. That is loads better. We've managed to level that word massively. So instead of at the start, we had the boy walked into the tent, and now we've leveled it to at midday, comma, the excited boy rushed into the colourful tent. Look at all that fantastic work that we have done to it, okay? So let's move on to the next bit. So what I would like you to do with this sentence that we had before, hang on, let me just get the sentence that we had. There we go. So make that a little bit smaller, put that up here. Okay, so the boy walked into the tent, okay? This was our original sentence. So what I want you to do is put a when did this happen? So a when fronted adverbial. Remember, a fronted adverbial comes at the start of the sentence, followed by a comma. I would like you to also up-level the rest of the sentence, okay? So you might want to change the boy, you might say the young rascal rushed into the tent, okay? Remember, add all that fantastic vocabulary in, okay? We have all those vocabularies that we can have. Okay, so have a go at that, have a quick pause, write it on a piece of paper at home. Okay, so same sentence, okay? So we've got the sentence again. So the boy walked into the tent. How did he go into the tent? Okay, so you might want to change this a little bit. You could change this into silently, comma, the young boy, so remember I'm trying to up-level it, the young boy dashed into the hectic tent. There we go, just make that a little bit smaller. Change the colour of it as well. Okay, so silently, comma, so I've got my fronted adverbials at the start. The young boy dashed into the hectic tent. Remember, the word hectic means busy, okay? It's a very good word for busy. So that's one way of up-leveling the sentence. So again, we've got the sentence again, and I want you to try and use where was he? So you could put far away, in the middle of the field, where no one can see. Think about how you're going to up-level it, okay? So remember, I wanted a fronted adverbial followed by that piece of punctuation, and see if you can up-level the rest of the sentence for me, okay? So you should have, I want at least 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, okay? Thinking about how you're going to up-level it, okay? How you're going to change it, how you're going to make it better. Make sure you're using interesting adjectives. Make sure you're using interesting verbs. Making sure you're using these adverbs as well, okay? So, well done if you managed to have a go at that. Remember to send any work to me. So, we're on to our spelling C's. Now, we've got these words again. So, we've got believe, appear, disappear, experience, famous, and heard. So we're going to have a go at some spelling races today. So we had a go at spelling races when we were back at school. So this is a really good way of practicing these words as well. So you're going to pick one of these words and you're basically going to time yourself. You can ask a parent or a sibling to see if they can time you, okay? And time you for 1 minute. And in that minute, you're going to write one of these words over and over again to see how many you can write correctly and neatly in a row, okay? And try and beat your score, okay? So for example, the first time you do it, maybe you wrote it correctly and neatly, maybe 7 times, okay? See if your family member can time you again. That's the word I was looking for. I can time you again. And see if you can beat that score, okay? Try and do it with the other ones as well, okay? So make sure you have a go at that. And then make sure that any work that you do, so remember, I want at least 4 of those sentences up leveled, okay? Thinking about the way that you can change the adverb, the verb, adding adjectives. And if you want to change the nouns, remember, you don't have to describe it as the circus. You can describe it as the huge big top, or the boy as a rascal, or the boy as you know, a youngster. And remember to send any work to y3willow@australiabyronwood.org, okay? I would love to see your work, and make sure as well that your names are on it, okay? I know loads of you are sending in your work, and especially on the emails you're putting your names on, so that's really, really helpful for me to see who was getting on with the work and trying really hard at home. So that's it from me today. I hope you're all staying well and safe, and for now, I'll say goodbye.